Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bandit's Rules of the Road show. I'm Bandit. I got my new tablet holder, so I'm up above my windshield wiper. Today is a good day to test this because it's kind of sloppy out and everything's kind of crappy. I'm already seeing a problem with this as I hit bumps. It's not as solid as a setup as I would like, as I had before just sitting on the dash. So we're going to try it and see what happens. This is a really good day to show you why you need to have your lights on foggy, snowy, rainy days. I will pull the tablet off the mount here in a second and show you what I can see out of my mirrors. And yeah, I don't know if this is all going to work or not. Not a very smooth ride for you guys, is it? I'm not liking this at all. And the bad part is I paid paid a little bit of money for this. So, in a big truck, like your car or whatever, slop gets up on the windows, side windows, the mirrors, everything else. And unless I'm going to stop every 5 minutes and clean it off, it's there. That's all it is. It's all you can do about it. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it, really. Wow, I'm not liking how rough this is. I like how high it is. I like where it's sitting as far as driving goes, but it is tilting and it is bouncing quite a bit. I don't know if we're going to be able to use this. I might have to figure out something else. Maybe I can attach it to the windshield and still have it sitting on the dash. I'm gonna have to play with this, I can tell you that already. But anyway, so I was looking through my Facebook feed today, and years ago, I want to say, I don't know, 2009, 2010, I was in Kansas City, Missouri, and I had to spend the night, and I got the call from, at that time, my wife, asking if I had driven the Ford Excursion to go get my truck. Well, in the winter I always parked at home so I could plug the truck in, and so I knew right away that no, I had not. The Ford Excursion was at the house. She had gotten up on Sunday morning and it was gone, and right out at the edge of our driveway was a Cadillac in the ditch. Well, come to find out that someone had stolen the Cadillac from a bar, or from not too far away from a bar in Clinton, and drove it out that far. We lived out in the country at the time. Drove it out that far and it ran out of gas. So he walked up and took my Excursion. At the time, I was leaving my keys in the Excursion because that's how I was raised. Never locked your doors and left your keys in the vehicles. We live in a different world nowadays, obviously. I know some of you in the big cities are thinking, yeah, you can't do that. And now I live in Clinton proper, which is about 30,000 people, and I cannot do that any longer either. But at the time, like I said, that's how I was raised. My dad, my uncles, my whole family, left all the keys in their cars and left their doors unlocked. Well, this guy ran out of gas, walked up, and, wow, hey, there's a nice Ford Excursion with a set of keys in the ignition. So he took off. I got home a week later on a Friday, and we had some banking to do in town and such. I wanted to go down to a little town of Erie because I figured where we lived, he must have been on his way to Erie to make a drug deal or go down there to the bar and party or whatever. Anyway, the wife said, hey, we need to go check out a certain set of apartments in Clinton that were known for drugs and thieves and just a bad set of people. So we went to the bank and we drove into this apartment complex, and the second road that we came upon, lo and behold, there sat my Ford Excursion. Didn't look damaged. We took a drive by. It was sitting in front of a set of apartments, and we took a drive by. We went about 2 blocks past it, and we called the cops. The first thing the cops said was, not our problem, didn't get stolen from Clinton, so, you know, you're going to have to get a hold of Whiteside County. And I said, that's all fine and dandy. He said, but it's in your town. I don't know what we should do about it. Should I just walk up and grab it? And they said, oh, an officer will be out here in a little bit. So we sat for like 20 minutes, and I was pumped. I was pumped to get this guy, gal, whoever it was. I wanted to go in and start knocking on apartment doors and look for my keys, and, you know, I had an unrealistic approach to it. My wife at the time was not feeling so good. She was scared. She was nervous. I said, what is your problem? We found the vehicle. Why are you so upset? And she explained it to me, and I understood. My vehicle was parked right outside of my daughter's door. At that time, my daughter was probably 6 years old. And that guy could have, you know, actually just went and looked in her window very easily. And I wasn't home, and he could have broke into the house. There's all kinds of things. She felt violated. And although we, you know, had our differences over the years, I understood where she was coming from. So I backed off a little bit and chilled out, and we sat there for probably 20 minutes before the police officer came. And he finally showed up, and it was like we pissed in his Wheaties. Like we were making him work. You know, I got to tell you, every job that I've ever had, it doesn't matter, and I've had a lot over the years. When I was a kid, I try to do the best that I can. Doesn't matter what it was. I try to do the best I could at that job. So I cannot believe that a police officer wouldn't want to catch a bad guy. I couldn't fathom why he was upset that he had to be there. First thing he told me, or I said to him, I said, so what's the plan here? Are we going to go in and knock on doors or whatever? And he says, we aren't doing anything. You know that it's a Whiteside County, what's the word? Whiteside County, which is over in Illinois, by the way, across the river, case. And he says, so, you know, if you want, I can call Whiteside County and see what they want to do, see if they fingerprint. But he tried to talk me out of that. Oh, fingerprint is a mess. It leaves a mess all over the vehicle. You're not going to want to do that or whatever. And I said, yeah, I do. I hate thieves. Thieves are the lowest among low. I mean, other than, pedophiles or rapists or murderers, obviously. But, thieves are lazy sons of bitches who don't want to work for their stuff. They want to just take yours, what you've worked hard for. and I can't stand that. Ugh. So anyway, I said, yeah, I want him caught. I want you to fingerprint him, or fingerprint my car, and I want him caught. And Whiteside County says, well, you know, if you want it fingerprinted, you're going to have to take it down to, they're going to have it towed down to a shop. And so they came up with a record, and they towed it down to the shop, and they went and fingerprinted it. And a couple days later, I got it back, and it wasn't that big of a mess. It wasn't that big of a deal. And I don't know why that officer was trying to talk me out of it. But anyway, the gist of it is we didn't recover the keys. So now my wife was worried that this guy could come out at any point in time and take the key, you know, take the car again. So we went ahead and had the locks changed. That was the biggest pain in the butt. That never worked. My remote fob, you know, obviously didn't work ever again. And yeah, it was just a big pain in the butt, and it was because some ass munch was too lazy to get a job and get his own car. I don't know what all the circumstances were, but I guess this guy had stolen several purses out of a local bar in Clinton that night. They found him in a dumpster. He had taken some tools out of another vehicle, put them in the Cadillac, found the keys under the floor mat, and took it, and then ran it out of gas, and then took mine. And Lord only knows, you know, if he just drove home that night and parked it there and hadn't driven it since, or what the case was. But the gist of it is the the Clinton police had, or I'm sorry, well, the Clinton police, it wasn't their case, you remember. But anyway, it sat there with the license plates for a stolen vehicle for a week, and my wife and I ended up finding the vehicle. So I know police officers have a rough job. I know right now in this world, and in this country especially, they've got a bad rap. But again, I go back to, I don't care if you're a McDonald's worker, I don't care if you're a truck driver, I don't care if you're a police officer. Do the best job that you can. And again, you know, this goes back to common sense. It goes back to, if everybody did what they were supposed to in this world, it'd be a better place. And, you know, quality assurance has gone out the window. Nowadays, you order something online and it gets there in 2 days, and it's the wrong thing, the wrong size, it's broken, it's whatever. And people don't care. They just, you know, they really don't care. They replace it for you, and that's about it. I remember back in the day when you used to go to McDonald's and the food was taking longer than 5 minutes, and oh, they'd apologize profusely, and they would put a couple of apple pies in your bag, and not anymore. Nowadays, it's just, yeah, whatever. If you don't like it, too bad. Quit coming to McDonald's. There's 5 new customers that are willing to take your place, and we don't care anymore. And it's not just McDonald's. I keep picking on McDonald's. That's just such a standard place to work. Everybody's worked there at one point in their lives when they're growing up, and I never did, but anyway, not just McDonald's. We just bought a new leather couch set, what we used to call a pit group, or a corner. Had recliners on the end. It's leathers. They had to make it in the factory. We couldn't even buy it off the floor at the store. They had to make it in the factory, and they sent it, and it took like 3 weeks, and they sent it to the store and picked it up, or they delivered it to the house. And we didn't have it quite a year. We bought it last year around Thanksgiving. We didn't have it quite a year, and my boy went to kick back in one of the recliners, and we heard a loud snap, and I looked behind the recliner, and one of the springs had come out, or broken a piece of wood or something, and it was pushed up against the leather on the back of the recliner. Now, we have a 3-year warranty on this couch. And Lori got on the phone and started talking to the company that sold it to us. The store that sold it to us was out of business, but they had 800 number for the actual company that sold the furniture, and nothing they could do. Not a thing they could do. Hold on, wait a minute. It's under warranty. We have a 3-year warranty. Yeah, but there's nobody in your area that fixes furniture. Okay, so bring somebody from out of the area to fix the furniture. Yeah, we probably can't do that. Okay, then how about sending a new piece to us? We might be able to do that. I'm not sure. I have to check with my supervisor. And that's been, at least 2 months ago. We still have not heard. Lori had to end up taking pictures of the receipts, pictures of the warranty, pictures of the tags, and emailing them, and we still have not heard back. So quality assurance has gone out the window, just like everything else in this world. And I know that's a sidetrack from the police officer doing his job, but it does speak oodles to what's wrong with this country and what's wrong with this world. The 50s and 60s and even into the 70s, people still cared about their jobs, and they still cared about quality control. And nowadays we live in a throwaway world. I've got a buddy who's a mechanic who works on my personally owned vehicle, my car, my now Expedition. Got rid of the Excursion. He gets brand new starters in the box, puts them into a vehicle, and they don't work. Why weren't they tested in the factory? Why, what is going on here? And he's out the time. He can trade the starter in and get a new one. They'll cover that. But the time it took him to put it in, take it back out, and then put the other starter back in, he's screwed. He's on his own. That's so wrong. I don't know what it takes. I guess what it takes is for us to all, for a better lack of words, strike. We all need to strike against these companies. And yeah, the really crappy companies, they'll go out of business. If they can't provide a good service, eventually people will stop using them and they'll go out of service. They'll go out of business. But for the most part, like the guys who build the starters, there's a limited number of them. And you order a starter from a parts store and they get that starter from that company. Where else are you going to go a lot of times? You can start, but that's part of the problem is not all of us are on the same page. So they're going to just keep doing business that way, and that's the way it is. Governments don't realize how much power the people have, and companies don't realize how much power the people have. If we all band together and go on strike against our government, go on strike against companies, we could shut them down, all of them. As a trucker over the years, I've heard the talk about, fuel prices are unbelievable. If all the trucks shut down for just one day, it would screw this country up. And it would. It truly, truly would. I've been on board. The problem is there are so many companies out there, the guys who drive for them can't, strike fuel prices. They, a lot of them don't want to. So a lot of them are a slave to their pocketbooks. They have to keep working, and I understand that. Back when I owned my own truck, not so much. now that I'm living pretty much paycheck to paycheck because I'm still paying child support, yeah, I can't miss too many days of work. It's not conducive to my, wanting to eat and survive. But the other thing you got is, all right, let's say that half of American truckers want to go ahead and strike. The other half are going, hey, yeah, you go ahead and strike. I'll take your freight. Absolutely. I'll take your freight and make more money. And that's part of the problem, is we're not united enough. These are the United States of America, but the people aren't united enough. If we all united, we could show them all. The government, these businesses, we have the power. There is power in numbers, but we don't have enough cohesiveness to get the job done. Here's something to think about. I haven't gotten too political, but I'm going to today. We are offered two choices, the left or the right. That's it. Those are the two choices we are offered. Yeah, there are a few other choices out there, but they don't offer them to us. There are, tea parties and libertarians and, just independents that are out there. But that isn't what we get offered. We get offered the left or the right. And so that splits us up. Oh, it's either this way or that way. I want this way because I believe in more stuff this way. That guy wants that way because he believes in more stuff that way. What about the middle? What about not the left or the right, but right down the middle? Not this choice, not that choice. How about this other choice? But we don't get offered that. And that's how they control us. If we all got together and said, no, we don't want the left, we don't want the right, we want this way, we want down the middle, we'd win. And everything would be good because for the most part, nobody wants the extremes on either side. They want to live their lives. Some people want the government to tell them what to do. I'm not one of those people. Some people don't want any government at all. There's a happy medium down the middle. And I think if we saw that, if we woke up, if everybody was intelligent enough to see that, and we stood up and said, hey, this is what we want. Not what you're offering, not what you're offering, but what we want. I think we would have a really great country again. So anyway, that's my little political hunk for today. I'm not going to get too nuts on the politics because I like you people and I don't want to isolate anybody. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope the video wasn't too shaky and give you convulsions or anything. I'm going to have to figure something out, obviously. But thanks for watching. Subscribe. I love you all. Have a great day.